Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creative Leigh here on Sunday the 4th of August 2024 with FLOSSTUBE number 301. I'm back. I'm back. I obviously, most of you will know I took a few weeks off, firstly to look after my dad and then for bereavement leave. My last non-FLOSSTUBE was 4 weeks ago. I've missed 3 weeks, however that maths works. And I kind of gave you guys a bit of an update to say Dad had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and that I needed to go up there to help look after him, but also the doctors had advised he probably didn't have very long. Throughout all this, Dad had a lot of hope and he was aiming for 3 to 6 months because that's what the internet told him. So we let him have that, but he had 3 weeks, it turns out. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail other than, I don't even know what time, maybe 10:30 I think it was, or 10:20 on the Friday the 19th. So just about 12 hours shy of 3 weeks when he got his diagnosis. So in the end, he was very peaceful. The nurse said he kind of was sort of chatting to her, making a joke or just mumbling something. And then he went to sleep and gave a big sigh and he passed. So that's it. That's the last update from Dad, I guess. It's been really weird, surreal. As a lot of you know, you've been on this journey with me since 2020 when Dad had his urgent heart surgery, and we've had a lot of ups and downs and ins and outs meaning into hospital and out of hospital. The medical people that have looked after him over those 4.5 years, his home care people, they were just amazing. He wanted to stay in his own home. He managed to stay in his own home right up till the end. I'm glad he didn't have to go into hospice or have even hospice at home. I'm glad I didn't have to do that for him. I would have, but I didn't want to have to look after him at that level. And we're grateful he's not in pain and he didn't suffer very long. So yeah, it's just weird. So I took bereavement leave that next week and didn't necessarily have any intention to do anything specifically. We've got plenty of time. Dad didn't want a funeral, so we will do a little memorial service when we do an unveiling of where his ashes will be interred, but later next year, I don't know when. And he was definitely more about come and see me when I'm alive. What's the point? Yeah, come visit me when I'm alive. I'm not worried about what happens when I pass. So anyway, but people kept turning up, extended family and neighbours and Dad's friends and random dude across the road, just kept turning up to say how could they help. And I'm very good at delegating and doing administration and paperwork and organising because that's kind of my job, and I'm quite good at compartmentalising, I guess. And so I just gave people things to do, and we did everything. We cleaned out the house. It's ready. It's empty. We sold things. We gave things away. We donated things. I work with the public trust. They're the executors of the estate. I'm the advising trustee. So they've kicked off the probate process. Once we get probate on his will, then the house will go on the market. Hopefully it sells relatively quickly. Because it's empty and he has a mortgage. It's very weird. So, but, it's not like, found, all of his aviation books we donated to the Aero Club, the Whakatane Aero Club. They took all those, which is really cool. And a retired gentleman who lost a lot of his workshop in the Hawke's Bay floods last year. He came and purchased a bunch of Dad's tools and then offered to clean Dad's sheds out and do away with everything that was left to help me out. He'd keep some and donate some and take some to the dump. So I said yes. So he worked all week to do that. My brother came down from Auckland, took a couple of loads to the dump, donated a whole bunch of stuff to hospice. Yeah, again, sold a few things. The only thing we've still got left to sell is his mobility scooter, which I'm not giving away because I paid nearly $4,000 for that in March. So it's worth, it's worth something. It's not crap. But yeah, it's been quiet because he isn't calling me anymore. Those are the things that are a little bit weird. Is I'm used to, like, I went to the ballet on Thursday night, which was beautiful, and I typically, when I go out on a weeknight, I let Dad know to say, don't ring me because I'm not home tonight, I'm at the ballet, but I'll call you tomorrow, and he'll send something cheeky back by text or what have you. And of course I didn't have to do that this time. And yeah, it's a bit odd. So anyway, yeah, poor rest in peace, Leigh McDonald, Laird of Lochaber Estate. I did absolutely no stitching while I was on leave, let's call it, from FLOSSTUBE. I mean, pretty much it was all just too full on with either looking after Dad or having family visit, and then all the whatever, everything. It's been a complete blur the last 3 weeks. So since my last FLOSSTUBE, I didn't touch a needle. I didn't touch a skein of floss until Tuesday this last week. So I drove back to Wellington on Sunday, car filled of random crap, and then Monday I did a full week at work, went into the office. Super busy. I only actually missed 2 weeks of work, but it felt like an eon. It was crazy. And Monday, by the time I got home, I was knackered. But Tuesday, I picked up a little bit of stitching. And then Wednesday, I had a... Wednesday? Yeah, was it Wednesday? Wednesday had a new start, which I'll show you shortly. And a little bit of stitching, but I've been pretty tired, so I haven't really been able to do a lot. I haven't been reading as much either. It's just been like sleeping the sleep of the dead or the sleep of the anxious, depending on what mood I'm in. I've got a couple of new things though, and I am glad to be back to FLOSSTUBE. I'm glad to get back to a new normal. I have, we've got a retreat coming up this next weekend, so I don't know what I'm going to do next Sunday regarding FLOSSTUBE. It might be a late one. So it's a Lower Hutt retreat, and I'm looking forward to that, catching up with some friends. And I've got a new start, which is what's it called? I'm so out of practice. The Vibrant Flowers by Barrick, and I'm doing it in the MPIs, and I showed you most of the MPIs I purchased from That Crafty Kiwi here in New Zealand a month or so ago, and I pointed out I'd transposed some figures, and I'd ordered the wrong colour, a bright blue, instead of this lovely sea green. So I ordered that from That Crafty Kiwi, since she's stocking MPIs, and I can't order just this. So I love the Artsy Housewife. So I ordered this as well. I have a piece, I don't have Aztec Red. This is stitched on Aztec Red, I presume. I would presume so. Oh, it doesn't say on the back. Looks like Aztec Red by Weeks, but I've got a slightly more burgundy shade of linen that's been sitting in my stash for ages. I'll stitch this on that eventually. I don't even know what count it is. I don't care. That's what's going on it. But have you seen in the needlework market that's out at the moment, the Artsy Housewife has some amazing designs coming out. Oh, it's going to be hard not to spend money. Anyway, got that as well. So, and then she also popped in a little freebie card. I'm just covering the design from Nashville Needlework Market. So sure, it's free, but it's a gift with purchase type design. So it's a little complimentary bird chart 2024, because Helen went to needlework this year, which is really exciting for her. That's her card for people, especially if you're in New Zealand. Check her out. She has got a lot of stuff that some other shops here in New Zealand don't stock, so you have a look at that. That was that. Oh, and while I was away, my Silks for You turned up as well. So this is June 2024, some lovely greens. So that was nice to come home to. A wee surprise in the letterbox. I also received some lovely flowers and a gift pack from some colleagues at work to say, you know, bereavement best wishes, and a couple of other friends, a couple of my stitchy friends sent me a beautiful gift box with a gin theme, which is how do they know? And then another friend from work independently sent me a little gift box as well with some yummy treats and a little wee posy of flowers. That was really nice, and I've had some lovely cards as well. And all you lovely folks, like the lovely comments, and certainly on my last video to say, you know, all the best for everything, and then also sort of kind words around Dad, losing Dad. So thank you again for your support. This community is amazing. So that's all that's new in the last month, which is probably more than I've had for a little while. Sorry, I'm not as prepared as I usually am, but whatever. So on Tuesday, I had a look through all the stuff I'd taken home, because I had taken 2 big shopping bags filled with things, because again, when I left, I didn't know how long I'd be up there for. So I took a bunch of stuff up that just stayed in bags and then got put back in the car to come home again. Had a look through all that, and as I was putting them away on the shelf, didn't want to stitch on any of them. And I decided to pick this up. So this was Quaker Alphabet by La Di Da, that I am stitching on 35 count vintage marble from Zweigart using a couple of weeks dye works. And I started this at the Christchurch retreat this March just gone. I purchased everything when I was in Dunedin a couple of years ago. And here we are. So I didn't iron anything today. I've done a little bit since you last saw it. I've added in these 3 letters. I had already stitched the V, which the letters are in. You know what, I'm telling you lies. I had already stitched the Z. I added the V, and I added these 3 letters, I think. Yeah, I did. So the lettering is in the darker colour. Everything else is pretty much in the brighter colour. It might be hard to tell. I've got poor weird light today. I added this little bit up here, and I added most of this up here, most of that extra border there. So pretty much I can go ahead and get all the lettering filled in now, with a couple of little doodads in there. So mostly all that lettering, and then that little bit at the top. So what, I don't know, close to half, maybe half-ish, close to half. So that was nice to get that done. I'm going to have to buy another skein of the navy. Sure, it might be a different dye lot, but I don't mind with samplers if the colour change, especially with overdyed. I like that kind of vintagey, might have faded slightly look. I won't put that away because I'm making lots of noise. And then I had a new start, and partly this is because I was hoping to catch up with Zeb this weekend coming at the retreat, and I want to give her her chart back that she loaned me. Unfortunately, Zeb might not be able to make it down. She's got a very unwell kitty cat, and yeah, she probably needs to stay and look after her kitty cat. So sorry about that, Zeb. But she loaned me, last year I think it was, I stitched Pennsylvania Fraktur Birds, I think it's called, or from Kathy Barrick. And I personalised it at the bottom, used all my own colours. So I personalised it at the bottom with my name and also my full name because it's fit almost. And also my suburb at the time was called Trentham, and then, 2023. And then Zeb loaned me, I've had it for a year, Pennsylvania Fraktur Heart. So it's sort of a complementary piece. So it uses, this is actually the same personalisation that was in the original, the one that I changed, except this has the alphabet as well. And the birds filled in, whereas the birds in the other one are outlines. So again, once again, I've picked my own colours using scrapper 40 count. And I'm going to, as part of the personalisation, I'm going to do what I did with my name, but I'm going to change the suburbs. So in the last year, the post shop changed what our suburbs called. So we were this side of Ward Street, which meant Trentham, and the other side of Ward Street was Wallaceville. We are in an estate. The development I'm in, it's called Wallaceville Estate. It used to be called Wallaceville Farm. Whatever. We're now in Wallaceville. So I thought I would kind of represent that by having my name and then putting Wallaceville, and I might, instead of putting the alphabet, I'm going to have some room, so I might put Upper Hutt and then put 2024, kind of as just a quirk that I haven't moved, but my address has changed. So I decided to get that started because I needed to get it finished by this next weekend, which I will do. I'm probably close to halfway. Might not get the personalisation, but I don't need the chart for that because I'm charting my own. And I can give this back to Zeb. I still aim to get it finished this weekend anyway. And I'm using a scrap of 40 count Tickle the Ivory linen from James of the Needle. And I'm using my own overdyed threads. So I started this on 31st of July. And this is where I'm at. So I've got all the border in, and I stitched the red until I got to where I could then place the bird. So I'm stitching the bird. There's one more stalk that comes up here. Then there's 4 flowers, similar but different to these flowers there. Then there's 4 little doofers in the dark brown. A couple of, what do you call them? A couple of whatever those things are called, like quilting stars. Then filler in. I go 3 flowers. So yeah, the fill-in won't take, like the fill-in's pretty easy with the red. I'm really happy with it. So I always stitch fractors on 40 count linen because I'm just weird like that, and I love using scraps. So it's only got a small margin because it's probably gonna be stitched as made into a cushion. Unless I found a perfect little frame, but even so, I wouldn't need much to frame it myself onto a little square frame. We shall see, but thank you, Zeb, for loaning me that chart, and yes, I'm finally getting around to it. And I'll probably, I'll finish it this weekend. Other stitching, I am behind. I didn't do my July plans. I was going to focus on stitching a bunch on my Save the Stitches by Liz Armand. I didn't touch it. I took it with me. I went for a road trip, and also I should have stitched my July stitching on my 2 leap year sale pieces. So in August, hopefully I'll get caught up. So I'll have 2 months to catch up on those. It doesn't really matter. I've got 4 years, but it's just, it didn't get done. So otherwise, I don't really have any plans. I don't usually have plans. I will have that new start next weekend, which will be exciting. And I'm looking forward to seeing my friends and enjoying life, because it can be taken from you really quickly. New year as well, a little bit different. It's going, what are we doing? We're kind of going a little bit lighter. I want to go, the grey regrowth is just driving me nuts. So what we're going to do now is we're going more, I'm going to call it caramel, for want of a better word. So what we did this time is she just did my hairline with the caramel. So last time I got the hairline with the caramel. This time we just did the hairline with the caramel again, and then she put some foils through. Next time, so I go every 4 weeks. Next time I'll get probably a full root job with the caramel, and then she'll just comb it through. So maybe alternate times we'll do full root job with the caramel, and then the alternate time we'll do the hairline and then some foils. It's like the same amount of time and same amount of product and same amount of money. And then slowly go more caramel, and then once that's sort of a lot of it, like I got a good couple of inches cut off as well. So then once that's a little bit lighter, we'll then go another shade lighter. Yes, I'm gonna probably end up going towards blonde, which I don't want to. I've never wanted, I mean, yeah. But I'm just gonna go with the colour caramel for now, because I don't know what other colour to call it. Just to help the regrowth not look so stark when it's grey. And yes, could I go grey? I could. But I'm very patchy. I have white through my hairline, my hairline. So through here and through my temples. But I'm still, there's grey, right? But through the back, I'm still quite dark. So it's more pepper and salt, like there's more pepper than salt. And in the front, it's very much salt. And if it was all one colour, that would be one thing, but I don't really want to look like a skunk. And I can't even just bleach it all right now because the regrowth at the back is still going to be dark. That's the worst thing about getting older, is that you don't have control over your hair. So that makes me grumpy. But anyway, I'm quite liking the lighter, kind of more, yeah, I'm calling it caramel, like it's coppery with the caramel, like, because I don't know what else to call it. I like being caramel. Yay, so I'm very happy with that. Anyway, I'm happy with how it is right now, so that's all that matters. House is a pigsty. I brought a whole bunch of stuff home. I need to unpack. I've unpacked most of it, but I don't have homes for most of it, like a couple of Dad's good knives. I don't really have enough room to put everything, and I also have good knives. So I might just put them in the drawer and worry about them another day. I brought home a few bits and pieces from his kitchen that were better than that. I don't have any metal bowls, and I needed some, so I grabbed a set of metal bowls, and there's a couple of pumpkins and a bag of box of onions. So I'm gonna have to do something with that, probably make pumpkin soup and French onion soup, and then freeze it maybe. And a few books and some other, huge box of, the main thing I care about is all the memorabilia. So I've got all of Dad's photos and his log books from flying, his license, his exam from when he got his instructor license, and all that stuff from when he was younger. And so that's all stuff that I'll look at later, and I'll scan and share with the siblings. And other than that, I need to go and do some housework, and I don't want to do it, but I will. Thanks for your patience and your support and everything. I really appreciate it. Thank you for a few people who bought me a coffee or two over the last couple of weeks. It helped. I needed coffee. I spent a lot on coffee, especially the day when I went and got takeaway coffee for me and Lou and Mari, Dad's sisters-in-law who were helping me out. There's a wee little caravan in Kawerau down by the swimming pool. So I went there and I grabbed, it was like $20 worth, right? I got 2 large and then 1 medium coffee and a holder in my car. And I got home, I got out of my car and I went to grab the holder, and I didn't hold it right. I held it on the weak corner, and all 3 went onto the road. Like, I was so angry. No, I wasn't angry, I was just like, for fuck's sake. So I got back in the car, I picked up the plastic and stuff and just put them on the side of the road for me to pick up on my way back. Got back in my car, went around, pulled back up to, and now, this was now 11:45, and the little caravan, the lady in the caravan shuts up at 12. So I zoom back, I pull up, and she looks up at me like, she said to me, she thought, oh God, what have I done wrong? Have I got them mixed up? And I was like, you didn't do anything wrong. I just dropped them all on the middle of the road. Can you please make them again? So those 3 coffees cost me $40. So I appreciate your coffees, even though I probably dropped them in the middle of the road. Yeah, it's been a weird time. Expensive coffee. So I did end up buying quite a lot of coffee, especially when the kettle broke and then we gave away the microwave. Then we ended up with no way of making anything hot. So we couldn't make our own coffee. I'll see you next week. Probably. I'm not really sure. I want to do a FLOSSTUBE next week. It just might be a little bit late because retreat finishes at 4, I think, or 5. By the time I get home and, you know, sort dinner or what have you, I might do a little recap. We shall see. I'll do something. There'll be something next week. It might just be like 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. And yeah, I'll see you all. As always, unlike me for the last month, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.